Hello, y'all. How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. I am Divine Celion. Welcome to our space. I'm here to talk to you about something that blew my freaking mind when I realized it. And it hasn't really fully hit me yet. Um, okay. There's two things. I don't know if I should talk about the other thing. Let's talk about how you get used by spirit. Well, I was sitting up today and I was thinking about something. I had been assessing what exactly has been taken. And I was trying to figure out in the cards why love. They took money, but love was taken. And you don't take love from a being whose power is love. So I start to remember more. And remembering that, you remember who you are. But I'm not going to address that part. That's a personal part. I'm going to address something. I'm going to address how spirits use you. Don't tell you how they use you and use you. So, what if I told you we've been herded through a spiritual Ponzi scheme? Let me explain. We come here, some of us want to do things for spirit, right? Love spirit, spirit asks us to do something. We say yes without question. Don't know what it is. I want you to look at something though. I want you to look at something. Sorry, it's taking me a minute. We were used. But we agreed to be used before we knew we were being used for. And it was already written what we were going to be used for. But we were used. See, it knew what we would go through. And it had specific people go through specific things. Yes, to test you, but it goes deeper than that. The funny thing is, spirit knows these folks, these beings that do things to humans. Spirit knows, right? Spirit knows these beings that steal energy and all this stuff. And the reason why I say you were used is because you were a dangled carrot. It's like going in a dark space and you have an orb and you're keeping the orb covered up. You can see in the dark. Or whoever's carrying you can see in the dark, but you can't. And then you're uncovered for all these dark beings to do this to and want, right? Only to see what they're going to do with you, be allowed to do it, and then give it time to make them change their mind and do better. Then they don't. We're like, how much longer? The spirit don't say nothing. Never does. And then you get up and you're like, I'm not going to let this be done to me no more. If you ain't going to do anything, I'm going to do something. Still don't say nothing. Right. For some of us. And it waits to see what you're going to do in response to what's being done to you. And I sat up there and I was looking today and I said, you used my light because you knew they were going to attack. And you knew what they were going to steal. You knew what they do. And you continued. And I had to sit up here, and I still haven't processed it all. But it's a Ponzi scheme because they steal your energy to couple with other people's energy. They steal from one place to give to someone else or to have you take it. And then, or they'll take some and they'll stack it, or they'll kill you. And as your soul is leaving your body, they grab and then they collect more. It's different type of Ponzi schemes, but it's a spiritual Ponzi scheme. And the sad part is, it's like a villain movie. Every time that side is set up where they think they can do whatever and they're not caught. The problem is this same old tired ass script keeps repeating. That's going to end. That's going to end because it's a moot point. But the point is, sorry, I keep smelling Papa's magic. The point is that I don't mind being used if you tell me what's happening, but then at the same time, you can't be told because you're tested too, right along with them. Are you going to go with them, or are you going to do your thing? Or are you going to do what's right? Like, everyone's being tested, but tested different ways, right? But the chosen are like bait. They're like shark bait. And we're not told we're shark bait. We're told you're going to talk and walk your path, and I need you to do this for the world. You're not told the other side. They know you can't see all of that until you've been through it. Then when you're tired and you don't want nothing to do with nobody, no spirit, no nothing, then here comes spirit talking. When you find the love of you, then here comes spirit saying something. Because if you finally turn it into you and turn it around to you, then you hear spirit all of a sudden. Oh, you made it to this level to hear me. So you can get some understanding. And you're standing up there looking at spirit like, what the hell? For real? For real? But then we make an agreement to come here and to walk our path. But we don't know what the fuck it is. See, that's where I have an issue with spirit. That goes beyond faith. That goes beyond. Do you have faith in me to trust to know what I'm doing for you? Yeah, you tell me. That's beyond faith. See, faith is putting that in something to be taken care of. Right? But with the human minds we have, we figure we're going to have something that protects us and not hurt us. Right. This is earth plane. Everything is permitted to happen. Everything. Okay? So you are allowed to go through everything and not be protected by anything. Spirit has no jurisdiction here. It gave it up. Not its realm. First of all, not its realm. So those dark forces could do whatever it wants to you. Unless there's something else that comes down and says, no, you will not. And that's why some of you have protectors that were born to you. Because, try not to curse, but these MFs wouldn't stop. You were shark bait, my loves. In the grand scheme of things, you were shark bait. And we don't know what the rest is going to be. But the more you open up and see, the less you decide to be shark bait. Think about that. the more you find you, and that's kind of a fuck job. Excuse my language for saying it like that, because you got to figure out through your pain and what you're walking through to love you. You have to figure that shit out. You have to figure out, I've been through all of this. I got to get to love. I got to get to some form of love. Well, that's me. How many people actually figure that shit out after everything they've been through? How many people actually figure that out through all their pain that they got to get to them? That's why the number is so little. How many people figure out the answer lies within loving yourself? Because once you love yourself, you have access to the power of love and everything it holds, like my father did. Maybe not to his extent, but like my father did. And they take love away from you, which is the thing that they don't understand. They take love away from you, which they can't, because they're not powerful enough, but they think they can. They can't, but they make you believe they can. They take it away from you thinking that they're stripping you of your power. Those that are not Christ or in the Christ line, they didn't take your power. The ones in the Christ line, they cut that connection, but they ultimately can't, because love decides, like love did with my father. His power was through love. So they think they cut it. No, we just didn't figure it out until now. You can't cut love out. You can't. And then they're sitting up here trying to figure out why we don't hate. Some of us, why we don't want retaliation against them, why we know to love our enemies, why we can look at our enemy and see ourselves in them and use compassion. And that's what they're fucking mad about. They're mad that they couldn't take and steal. See, there's two different things. Stealing with the thought of, I'm going to take that love and I'm going to have who I want. Yeah, Spirit allowed that. Spirit allowed that. Spirit allowed them to walk in their own fucking trap. Did we know it was a trap? No. Spirit allowed that. So there's that. Then there's being used right along with that. Our love was forefront out. We were children, a lot of us. Our love was forefront out. It was bait and kibble to these darker things and these people and these families that walk with darker energies. And they ate it up. And it happened for years. That Spirit allowed. And humans allowed. And everyone else. See, you being tested was not just a test for you. You were kibble in a cage because you were their test. And the test couldn't happen without you. And they failed, most failed fucking miserably. Thinking, I got away with it. No one can catch me, because for eons, no one did. For most of them. But no. It was not forgotten. It is written. It's written in our books. It's written in their books. And it's written in the books. So, no, it wasn't forgotten and it wasn't hidden. Oh, it wasn't hidden. No. And the evidence is there. All of it. You just didn't know it was being collected. And so, for some of us, we had to, for so long, walk many of these for people, because you were catalyst for people and you were bait. And so we had to walk this many times for many fucking people, for many of them to fail. And then some of them are continuing to fail because they're holding on to you still. And that's why when you turn to love, you can look at them and be like, I'm not even a point for you anymore. Like, I'm not even your lesson anymore. You can walk away from me because you failed it. So I have nothing to do with your lesson anymore. It's now between you and spirit. It has nothing to do with me. That's compassion. That's seeing and not being blind. When they're talking about woke, it's the play on words like effect and affect. Affect does not mean effect, and I refuse to use that shit. Effect is effect, and affect is affect, and affect deals with emotions, and effect deals with what happens, the action of what happens. I don't interchange them. It does not change the meaning just because you change one for the other. No, they only did that because people couldn't get it. Now, why are you saying this, Divine? Because when people or a group of folks cannot understand something, notice how they change the meaning of something or how it has been to satisfy a group of people because they just can't get it. You don't fucking change that. No, you make them learn it. That's what spirit does. You don't change it. You make them learn it. And then we get up. Don't use me then. That's me. Don't use me then. Go get somebody else. You didn't use me enough for now. And then you walk into something else. And who are you? Someone else's fucking lesson. And spirit will do that. When you put your foot down and be like, no, it will go behind your back and fucking use you. Again. You don't tell me no. I told you no. Well, that's why you in this lesson. Okay. See what happens. I'm sorry. That's me. No. I said I don't get controlled by nothing. No. But the difference with me is I learn. When I can't control it myself, then I learn it. I learn the game. I'll wait to wake up so I can see. I go to my base, which is the love of me. That's my base. Because in loving me, I can understand, hear, and love spirit. Not fucking fear. No. So, and as it says in the good book, fear has nothing to do with love. So, I'm sitting up here and I'm thinking to myself, they set up a Bible to control you. Yet in that book, if you look at my father's words, it teaches you everything to not let them control you. Yet they kept those parts in, but they took out how to control your own life and manifest it. If you were smart, you would have taken out my father's words too. Now, you may have taken his book, but you don't understand. You left other gems in there that contradict what the fuck them do. But I'm not going to say nothing. So, don't be mad that you a shark bait. Shark bait, ooh, ah, ah. Don't be mad. Don't be mad that you a shark bait. Because now you get for being shark bait for eons. Now. And we could be mad at that. We could. But why? Why? All it's going to do is prolong what belongs to us. And I'm at the point, give me my shit. Here's why. I don't care what comes after this plane when I leave it. Because there's more work to do. There is no, I don't need riches stored somewhere else. No. Because I got work to do. So, my shit now. I can't enjoy it in the next one. Now. Period. Now. I already know I'm working. I already know. So, I'm sorry. Don't be mad. Loves, don't. You were needed. Is it fucked up we're not told? Yeah. But in a psychological experiment, you're not told either because your behavior would change. Hence, observer effect and quantum mechanics. in quantum physics. If you're told and you're observed, you're going to act differently than if you're not told and you're not observed. If you're not told and you're not observed, you are in your natural state. You will respond the way you naturally will. That's why for psychological tests, they don't tell you anything except for a few things. Because we have to test your natural state and natural response to things. Even though there is always a degree of error because you have people like me that can recognize it and who screw up the psychological tests on purpose to their standard deviations to the side because I already know. I know when two questions are very similar and almost the same, and I also know that you're not supposed to answer them each differently. Duh. Make the questions better. So anyway, sorry. That's what happens when you have someone that pays attention in between spaces. So, my loves, you're chosen because you allowed yourself to be used. You allowed yourself not to feed your pocket off of this plane with riches and shit. You allowed yourself, you agreed to the Ponzi scheme. You agreed for yourself to be used, to be siphoned and stolen from in the greatest criminal mastermind sting of all time. Energy theft and all that shit that happens on the astral plane. It was a celestial sting operation, and we were a part of it. And we're on the team of the Celestials. We're the authorities going undercover and catching the criminals. And how they do that, because we're human or something like it, how they do that is they use us on the ground. Like you have frontline soldiers. We're the frontline soldiers. So we came on down, got on that front line, and they took some of us out, got rid of some of the evidence, couldn't pick them up on that sting, but they could pick them up on other stings. Okay? You understand? So, it's been a celestial sting operation. And we were bait. And in this cycle, more getting got. Because we got tired of the sting not sticking and not happening. So we had to be fortified enough times to see how to do the sting right. And now we have. And now we get our pay, our back pay from overtime and sleeping on a dirty floor to go back out again and do it again. We're getting paid our vacation, our overtime, our 401k is getting expended, all that. Our spiritual bank. Because we didn't put in some serious overtime hours for this sting to go down. I know it's a crazy way of looking at it. But I want you to sit with you and your emotions and all this. And how you feel about it. How you see it. It's a shit show. And we were needed the whole time. Which means you were worthy the whole time. Which means you were important to the whole thing the whole time. When you thought you were less. I told you, they don't go after less. They go after what's expensive. Whose energy is worth it. Because if they're going to get caught, they're going to make sure it's worth it. That's your chosen. Now imagine one light. And how bright it is, right? Imagine all of us and our light. Too much light quells the darkness. But there's always a shadow somewhere. You dig? All right, my loves. I love you. Just food for thought. And again, don't be upset. All of us are used. Every freaking being is used. Like a pawn, bishop, rook, knight, queen, king, on a chessboard. Hence why the game of life is an actual board game. Hence how war is an actual game. Think about that. And your life has been a battlefield. And then you've been on the battlefield with other ones. Thank God this sting operation is about to come to a fucking close. And we're getting our back pay. It's well deserved. Keep going on. Keep walking. Keep your head up. Keep knowing you're worthy. Love you.